The Galactic Academy's xenobiology instructor, Onez, clicked his mandibles in what passed for laughter among the Chitauri. Humans? Apex predators? His thorax vibrated with amusement. Your species abandoned that evolutionary path millennia ago, Alvin. You're tool users now, soft, domesticated. Alvin sat quietly in the zero-gravity lecture hall, his magnetic boots anchoring him to the floor, while 17 other species floated around holographic displays of genuine apex predators. The presentation showed creatures from across the galaxy: the 6-ton Krathon bears of Proxima 5, the pack-hunting Vrel of the Omega Sector, the solitary Therax cats whose claws could slice through starship hulls. Humans evolved from pursuit predators, yes, Onez continued, his translated voice dripping with condescension. But evolution is a ladder you climbed and then abandoned. Look at yourselves. No claws, no natural armor, no venom. You even removed the canine teeth from most of your population for aesthetic purposes. Several aliens chittered and hummed in agreement. We don't need them anymore, Alvin said evenly. Precisely my point. You've become dependents of technology. Strip away your weapons, your tools, your ships. What remains? A hairless biped that can't survive 3 days without climate control. Alvin's jaw tightened, but he said nothing more. He'd learned early in his academy tenure that humans weren't respected here. Earth was a backwater planet that had only achieved faster-than-light travel 2 generations ago. The other species had been spacefaring for thousands of years. To them, humans were children playing with fire. After class, Alvin made a decision. He filed a request with the Academy's Wilderness Survival Department, a program designed to test xenobiology students' ability to track and document dangerous species in their natural habitats. No human had ever enrolled. The department head, a methane-breathing Gorlix, approved his request with what Alvin suspected was malicious glee. They dropped him on Kepler 442b, a super-Earth with 1.6 times standard gravity and an ecosystem that had independently evolved predator-prey relationships remarkably similar to Earth's Cretaceous period. The rules were simple: survive for 10 standard days, document 3 apex species, return to the extraction point. He was allowed a combat knife, a water filtration unit, and a neural recording implant. No weapons, no communication devices. The extra gravity hit him like a physical blow when he stepped from the dropship. Alvin spent the first day simply acclimating, forcing his body to adapt, letting his muscles remember what humans had once been. He gathered data on the local megafauna using nothing but observation and patience, humanity's oldest hunting tool. On the 3rd day, he found fresh tracks, something massive, quadrupedal, with claws that scored deep grooves in the volcanic rock. Alvin followed the trail for 16 hours straight, moving with a peculiar efficiency that no other species at the Academy possessed. His body burned through calories, metabolizing fat and generating heat. But he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. Persistence hunting, the strategy that had made Homo sapiens the dominant species on Earth, was encoded in his DNA. The creature was a titanosaur analog, 12 meters of scales and muscle, an apex herbivore with few natural predators. Alvin didn't kill it. He didn't need to. He simply ran it down across 2 days and nights, following it through ravines and across plains, never letting it rest, never giving it time to recover. On the 3rd day of pursuit, the exhausted creature simply lay down. Alvin approached carefully, documented it with his neural implant, then left it in peace. It would recover. That was the point. Humans had never hunted to extinction by choice. They hunted with sustainability in mind, taking only what was needed. The 2nd apex predator found him. A pack-hunting carnivore, velociraptor-sized with electroreceptive organs and 6 limbs. They surrounded him at dawn on the 6th day, their pack coordination near perfect. Alvin did something no other Academy species could. He smiled. Then he screamed. The sound that erupted from his throat was primal, a challenge roar that resonated through the forest. The pack hesitated. Humans were among the few species capable of complex vocalization specifically designed for intimidation. Alvin grabbed a fallen branch, hefted it, and charged the pack leader. Not with superior strength, with absolute confidence and aggression. He leveraged his endurance, his tool use, his threat displays. The pack retreated, confused and frightened by prey that acted like a predator. He followed them for 3 days, documenting their hunting patterns, their social structure, letting them learn that this strange hairless ape was not to be trifled with. The third apex was the challenge, a solitary ambush predator, camouflaged and patient, with neurotoxic saliva and reflexes 3 times faster than his own. It attacked on day 9, dropping from the canopy like death itself. Alvin couldn't outrun it, couldn't overpower it, but he could outsmart it. He led it into a box canyon, used fire, that ancient human tool, to control its movement, and trapped it in a space where its speed became a liability. Then he did something that would horrify Onez and the Academy. He fed it. Not from fear, but from understanding. He offered it part of his rations, approached it slowly, spoke in soft tones. Humans hadn't just been persistence hunters, they'd been the first species to domesticate others, to turn predators into partners. When the extraction ship arrived on day 10, Alvin walked out of the wilderness with his 3 apex species following him. The titanosaur analog had recovered and approached out of curiosity. The pack hunters had begun to view him as part of their territory, bringing him kills and expecting him to share. The ambush predator walked at his heel like a dog, its neurotoxic saliva dripping harmlessly as it tilted its head for scratches. Onez stood at the extraction point, mandibles frozen mid-click. Around him, the Academy administrators stared in silence. "You were right, instructor," Alvin said quietly, his voice hoarse from days in the wilderness. "We're not apex predators anymore. We're something those words can't describe. We're the species that turned wolves into dogs, that made predators into friends, that didn't just survive the food chain, we domesticated it. We don't hunt for dominance, we hunt for understanding." And that, he gestured to the 3 massive creatures watching him with something like affection, is far more dangerous than claws could ever be. The creatures didn't attack. They simply waited for permission to leave, which Alvin gave with a gesture. As they disappeared back into the wilderness, Onez finally found his voice. What are you?" Alvin smiled, exhausted and filthy, but unbroken. "We're humans, instructor, and we've been asking the universe for mercy since we first looked up at the stars. Maybe it's time the universe started asking us."